Hey students, Miss Bodley here. Just wanted to introduce you to the Criterion C and D task that we're going to be working on this period and next period. And so this is what it's all about. We're going to be looking at funding food banks. So here's the problem. A charitable organization provides support to two different areas of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The following fact files provide you information about two communities that the organization supported last year. So if you look at the table, and in a moment you will open this and you'll get your own copy of it on Google Classroom. The table shows you some different information. It shows you how many people are in each community. It shows you how many people are already registered for the food bank, how often people are visiting the food bank, the poverty rates, the funding that they're already receiving, and this is in Brazilian real. You don't need to change this to euro or dollars. Or any other currency. You can just work in Brazilian real while you're doing this task. And the average meal cost per person. So knowing this information about these two communities, Community A and Community B, there was a service learning project in Singapore that raised a sum of 10,000 Brazilian real to fund these food banks. You are going to be the one responsible for dividing the 10,000 Brazilian real between communities A and B. Okay, so you have to decide, of this 10,000, how much should community A get and how much should community B get? Okay, within your answer, within your answer, you are going to justify how you would divide this money, and you should include the following. Consider which data is the most relevant to this problem. Consider whether it's appropriate to use a combination of data. So maybe you want to use 2 or 3 or 4 different pieces or elements of the data above. Show how you've used mathematics to reach your conclusion. And remember, this is Criterion C, so you need to use multiple forms of mathematical representation. So 3 to 4 forms of representation. Explain the degree of accuracy of your solutions and division. And also explain and demonstrate how your conclusion divides the money fairly. Okay, so that's some reasoning that you can do there and some real life justification. So here are the directions. The task will only be completed in class. So again, we have this period and next period to finish it. You'll have approximately 2 hours. The task may be a maximum of 3 pages. So any information after 3 pages is not going to be considered. The reason I do this is so that you really are clear and you are concise and you are consistent with your wording, okay? Typing more and more and more stuff, quantity is not better than quality, okay? So say things once and say them straight. You can use 11 or 12 point font, and you may use your small notebooks, calculators, and you may use the internet. But if you use the internet, you do need to cite your sources. Please read the rubrics carefully. Remember again that you're graded against C and D. Okay, we did some practice tasks for each of these in class. You really need to make sure you use what we learned about Criterion C and D and put them all together into one nice paper. Okay, and then we will take care of printing and stapling, including the rubrics at the end of the second class. And you can just start typing your investigation on this page below. One last thing I'd like to say, at the very end of this period, go ahead and submit your task, and the start of next period, we will unsubmit. Okay, good luck everybody. Do your best, show your work, and remember, we were working with rates, ratios, and proportions, so you can use all of that information to explain and describe how much money you would give to each community and why.